everyone, my name is Lailita. I'm your English tutor today. Today we were going to talk about something that I think is really exciting, writing narrative. Specifically, how to describe your characters in a way that feel vivid, real, and memorable. Jadi, hari ini kita bakal belajar gimana sih caranya bikin karakter dalam ceritamu itu benar-benar hidup di benak para pembaca. Let's get into it!
Alright, let's start from the beginning. A narrative text tells a story or a sequence of events. Its purpose is to entertain, to inspire, or to deliver a moral message to the reader. Now, every narrative has three key elements. First, character. This is the person or creator who lives through the story. They are the center of your reader's attention. Second, setting. Where and when the story takes a place. A strong setting pulls your reader right onto the world you are creating. And third, plot. The chain of event. Orientation, then complication, and then resolution. Today, we are going to zoom into character, specifically how to describe them so well that your reader can actually see.
Okay, before we learn the right way, let's look at what most people do wrong. Read this sentence. A scary, evil man walked into the dark room. Now, ask yourself, what do you actually see? What does he look like? How does he move? Or what's his expression? The answer is you don't know, because the writer just give us labels: scary, evil, dark. That's what we call telling. Telling is like putting a price tag on an emotional. You say he was scary, but you give us no evidence. The reader is forced to just accept it instead of actually feeling it. Dan masalahnya, it's flat, it's boring, there's no image, no texture, and no life. So, what's the solution? The solution is what we call show, don't tell. The idea is simple but incredibly powerful. Instead of telling your reader how a character feels, you show them through physical detail and action. You let the reader draw their own conclusion. Here is the formula. Action plus physical detail equal internal state, revealed not state. Now, look at this mentor text. Door creaked open. A young woman stepped into the courtroom. She repeatedly smoothed out her wrinkled blazer with trembling fingers. Her eyes locked onto the floor as she bit her bottom lips. Now, which words are missing? Nervous, scared, and anxious. Not a single one, but you can feel it, right? Trembling fingers, I look onto the floor, beating her bottom lips. That's showing. You give the physical evidence, and your reader's brain fills in the emotion automatically. Also notice, the writer used strong action verbs like step, smoothed, beat, not just walk or look. And there's a participle phrase with trembling fingers, adding detail without creating a new sentence. Powerful stuff. Let's look at one more comparison, a classic example. Here's the before version, the telling version. He was a wealthy merchant, he was arrogant and proud, everyone feared him. Three sentences, three labels, wealthy, arrogant, proud. That's it. Now, after version, the showing version. He stepped out of the carriage, adjusting his silk velvet coat. He ran a ring-covered fingers through his hair and looked down his nose at the villagers. Notice, no wealthy, no arrogant, no proud, but you can see all of it. The silk velvet coat, the ring-covered fingers, looking down his nose. The details speak for themselves. So, next time you want to call a character nervous or arrogant, stop. Ask yourself, what does that look like? Describe that instead. Now, let's build your vocabulary. Karena salah satu alasan tulisan terasa flat adalah kita pakai kata yang itu-itu saja. We have 3 categories today. Eyes and face, piercing, a sharp, intense gaze, much stronger than just he looked at her. Bloodshot, red veined eyes, perfect for exhaustion or emotional breakdown, narrowed, suspicious or calculating, downcast, eyes looking at the floor, shame, sadness, or defeat. What a character wears says a lot about who they are, without you having to say it directly. Tattered cloak, poverty, long journeys, silk velvet coat, wealth and status. No need to say he was rich. Posture and movement, slouched, low energy, defeated, squared shoulder, confident, ready, trembling fingers, anxiety, fear. Nah, ini yang kita pakai tadi saat di mentor text. These are your tools, use them. Let's talk grammar. Specifically, the 2 tenses used most in narrative writing. Number 1, simple past tense. This is your main narrative tense, used for action that happen one after another in this story. Formula, subject plus verb to. Example, she stepped into the room. He ran his fingers through his hair. Number 2, past continuous tense. This is used for background action or something happening at the same time as another action. Formula, subject plus was or were plus verb in. Example, her hands were trembling. He was pacing nervously across the room. Nah, ini yang paling powerful. Is when you combine both. She stepped into the room while her hands were trembling. Simple past give you the main action, past continuous add the linear detail. Together they paint a complete picture. 2 more tools before we wrap up. Action verbs. The rule, don't use a generic verb when a specific one exists. Instead of walk, try to kelelahan, stomped, marah, shuffled, ragu-ragu. Instead of look, try glared, marah, peered, penasaran, squinted, curiga. Instead of said, try muttered, snapped, and whispered. Every verb carries its own emotion. Your verb choice is a character choice. Participial phrases. These are phrases that add descriptive detail without creating a whole new sentence. More efficient, more natural. Like with trembling fingers, or as look onto the floor, or adjusting his velvet coat. Combine strong action verbs with vivid participial phrases, and your narrative comes alive. Alright, let's wrap up. Today, you learned 4 things. 1. Show, don't tell. Don't label your characters. Show their traits through physical detail and let your reader feel it themselves. 2. The formula. Action plus physical detail equal internal state revealed to the reader. 3. Vocabulary. Specific words like bloodshot, trembling, tattered are far more powerful than generic adjective. 4. Tenses. Simple past for main action, past continuous for background and simultaneous event, combine both for rich linear narrative. Remember, great narrative writing doesn't tell the reader what to feel. It creates the condition for them to feel it themselves. That's the difference between a vegetable character and one that stay with your reader long after the story ends. Good luck with your writing, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.